The NRA often likes to say that more guns equals less crime. Unfortunately, yet another study tells us that is not the case. Researchers at Stanford have concluded that contrary to the commonplace statement that right to carry laws and concealed carry laws decrease violent crime, such laws correlate with an increased number of violent crimes since 1999 in states that have passed these laws. Law professor John Donahue III said, quote, trying to estimate the impact of right to carry laws has been a vexing task over the last 2 decades, in large part because the most frequently cited study, which is one called More Guns, Less Crime from 1997, ended right before the extraordinary crime drop of the 1990s. Donahue and his assistants, Stanford law student Abe Aneja and John Hopkins doctoral student Alexandria Zhang, contend that a more accurate estimate of the effect of right to carry laws on violent crime would look at data from 1999 to 2010, because that period includes the increases and then declines associated with the rise and fall of the crack epidemic. So to summarize this, those who point to the 1997 study, which says more guns decrease violent crime, ignore a reality of the last 15 years in this country that has seen a general decrease in crime and several other states that have added right to carry laws. So it's not really fair to base your assessment on the impact of gun availability on crime if you're looking at data, Lewis, that stopped in 1997.
That's true. There's lots of interesting data around this. And, I like to compare this country to other countries in a lot of ways. And, there are a lot of countries where there are a lot of guns and almost no crime. And some people use the argument that wouldn't work in America for a lot of things. But I think you have to look at different countries differently just because of how they are socially. And this is one of those instances.
Indeed. And when we look at the data from 1999 to 2010, it is the exact opposite of what the NRA and gun fetishists want you to think. Quote, the totality of the evidence based on educated judgments about the best statistical models suggest that right to carry laws are associated with substantially higher rates of murder, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault. The strongest evidence was for aggravated assault, which increased by almost 8%, but homicides also increased in the 8 states that adopted right to carry laws between 1999 and 2010, a time during which the overall crime rate decreased. Now, I would actually be open to the idea that there is no causal relationship here between more guns and more crime, but what we have to throw out at this point is the 1997 data that implies more guns decrease crime. There are many confounding factors here, Lewis, and we need even more data, but the refrain from the NRA that more guns decrease crime is definitely one we can throw out the window.
Not just this one study. I think most evidence we have points to more guns being equal to more crime across the country, generally speaking.
Let's, as a minimum, enact stricter gun safety background check legislation. That's just a minimum. There's no reason not to do that, given the 8 in 10 or even higher support that would have, that has in polling of the entire American population, a representative sample, of course.